Alrighty, folks, we went 5-1 with a push on my premium page yesterday. On Memorial Day, we had the Tigers, Dodgers, D-backs under in the hockey game, and we also had Oklahoma City in the NBA. And the only way you could have accessed all those winners is to join my full access, all-inclusive Gold Club membership. I'll explain a little bit more about all that in just a moment. But before we go ahead and move on, just want to take a quick time out and welcome you to my free pick video here today for Tuesday, May 27th, 2025. Happy Tuesday to you. Hopefully you had a great Memorial Day weekend. Hopefully you didn't get too blacked out. Hopefully you didn't get too sunburnt, if that's applicable to you. Of course, if you're joining me for the first time here today, my name is Brock Page. I've been dishing out free sports picks on YouTube since 2016. And once again, if you need access to all of my premium selections, you may want to think about signing up for my full access, all-inclusive Gold Club membership. Gold Club members get access to every single premium selection of mine, every single package, every single day for the next 30 days. Of course, if you don't need access to all of my premium selections, but maybe you could use like one a day, my daily best play is going to run you just 6 cents a day for 30 days worth of access. Of course, if you're on the fence about giving me money, I certainly don't blame you. This is a very skeezy business. I've got plenty of free content on my premium page as well, including my current overall win-loss record. You can access that right now. Just go to the post section, scroll down, you'll eventually see it. You don't have to pay to access that. You can see, I'm an open book. Open book. You can see how good and or bad I am right there. The free win-loss record. Folks, I currently have over 2,530 members who are signed up and active on my premium page right now. With that, let's go ahead and dive into some free content. We're going to take a look at the Dodgers taking on the Guardians, 6:10 Eastern first pitch. The Dodgers are minus $1.35, totals 8.5. Dustin May for the Dodgers, Tanner Bibee for Cleveland. Bibey's just 4-4 on the year despite some real good stuff. Listen, simply put, the Guardians are not scoring enough runs, especially at Progressive Field. As a matter of fact, the Guardians are a bottom 3 run-producing team at home. They're actually averaging fewer hits a game at home than any other roster besides one. And they're facing Dustin May, who struck out 49 batters this year, has a 1.24 whip. Of course, as a team, these Dodger pitchers have definitely thrown well on the road. They're in the top 10 in fewest hits allowed while traveling. When it comes to the totals, 7 out of the Guardians' last 10 ball games did stay under the number. I like the Dodgers minus 135, under 8.5. Cardinals, Orioles, 635 East. Baltimore's $1.20, totals 9. Tomo Sugano for the O's. Andre Polani for St. Louis. Polani's 4-3 thanks to some real good run production. The Cards have a top 5 hit-producing lineup in the majors. Brendan Donovan hits .328. On-base percentage nearly in the 400s. And Lars Mr. Nootbaar, he's the club leader in homers and walks. And they're facing a Baltimore squad who's just 9-15 at Camden Yards. Their pitchers have thrown bad there. The O's allow nearly a dozen hits a game on their own rubber. 6 out of the O's last 10 outings got over the total. Give me the Cardinals plus $1 over 9. Giants Tigers, 6:40 p.m. East. San Francisco's minus $1.25, total 7. Logan Webb for the Giants. Jack Flaherty for Detroit. And we got ourselves a solid matchup on the hill. Flaherty's got 64 strikeouts and a 1.18 whip. Meanwhile, Logan Webb's punched out 74 hitters himself, ERA of 2.67. The Giants' last 4 straight on the road stayed under the total, 8-2 to the under in their last 10 at any location. Meanwhile, Tiger games went 7-3 to the under in their last 10 themselves. I like the under 7. Braves, Phillies, 645 East. Atlanta's a $1.20, totals 8.5. Spencer Strider for the Braves. Rangers, Suarez for the Fightins. Suarez is 3-0 on the year, and the Phils have definitely hit it well at Citizens Bank Park. Matter of fact, the Phils have a top 3 hit-producing lineup. Trey Turner's hitting .310. Kyle Schwarber's got 18 homers, 40 runs batted in. And they're taking on a winless Spencer Strider, 0-2 on the year, ERA close to 6. And as a team, the Braves dropped 4 out of their last 5. Now, total-wise, 3 out of the Braves' last 5. Road games got over the total. Give me the Phillies plus $1 over 8.5. Twins, Rays, 705 East. Tampa Bay's a $1.20, totals 8.5. Taj Bradley for the Rays. Joe Ryan for Minnesota. Ryan's 4-2 on the year, ERA of 2.68. The righties punched out 67 batters and has a .81 whip. Now, these Minnesota pitchers walk fewer batters per 9 than any other staff. Tough to hit against when they travel. Twins allow fewer runs a game on the road than any other team except one. And they're facing a Rays lineup who struggles at the plate. Tampa's a bottom 10 run-scoring team at home. They also still have a losing record at Steinbrenner Field. 7 out of their last 10 ball games fell under the total. Minnesota contest went 8-2 to the under in their last 10 themselves. I like the Twins plus $1. Under 8.5. White Sox, Mets, 7:10 Eastern first pitch. The Mets are the $2.70 favorite, total 7.5. Tyler McGill for the Mets, Jonathan Cannon for Chicago. Now, the Cannon is just 2-5 thanks to a lack of run support. Sox are dead last in hits per game at the dish. And they're facing a Mets staff who allows fewer runs a game than any other team. Tyler McGill comes into Tuesday's start with 66 strikeouts, ERA in the 3s. The Mets have also been unbeatable in Flushing, Queens. Well, nearly unbeatable. They're 20-6 at Citi Field thus far. Now, 3 out of the Mets' last 4 home games did stay under the total. 8-2 to the under in their last 10 at any location. I like the Mets minus 1.5, under 7.5 in the tight window. Red Sox, Brewers, 740 East. Boston, a $1.20, total 8.5. Cooper Criswell for the Bo Sox. Aaron Savali for Minnesota. Aaron Savali for Milwaukee. The Brewers of Milwaukee got the W in 6 out of their last 9. .615 win percentage on their own diamond. Christian Yelich has the most homers and RBI. Rhys Hoskins with an on-base percentage in the high 300s. And they're going to face Cooper Criswell, who's got a double-digit ERA after a handful of innings. And these Boston pitchers are now in the bottom 10 in hits allowed per contest. I like the Brewers plus $1, over 8.5. Reds, Royals, 740 Eastern start. KC's a $1.20, totals 8. Daniel Lynch for the Royals. Brady Singer for Cincinnati. Singer's 5-3 on the year, and since he's definitely, thrown well on the road, their staff's in the top 10 and fewest runs allowed while traveling. And they're facing a horrible Kansas City lineup who, they struggle getting on the base pass. They walk fewer times at the plate than any other team, and no real surprise, the Royals are dead last in runs per game at home. Having a tough time producing runs at Kauffman Stadium. Both teams saw unders in 6 out of their last 10, respectively. I like the Reds plus $1, under 8. Rockies, Cubs, 805 East. Chicago, 320, total 7.5. Cade Horton for Chicago. German Marquez for Colorado. Marquez is just 1-7 with an ERA of 7.66. These Rockies, pitchers, they allow more runs a game than any other staff in the majors. And unfortunately for them, they're facing the highest run-scoring team in the Bigs in Chicago. Seiya Suzuki's got 14 homers, 49 runs batted in. Pete Crow Armstrong, 14 home runs himself. And out of the Cubs' last 10 gatherings with the Rockies, they've averaged nearly 7 runs a game. So if you're into historical trends, you certainly want to think about that one there. 3 out of the Cubs' last 4 at Wrigley got over the total. 8-2 to the over in their last 10 at any location. I like the Cubs minus 1.5 over 7.5 runs. Blue Jays Rangers 805 East. The Rangers are minus 145. Totals 8. Nathan Eovaldi for Texas. Bowden Francis for Toronto. Francis is just 2-6 on the year. Not a whole lot of run support for the righty. The Blue Jays are a bottom 5 run producing team. And they're going to take on Nathan Eovaldi, who's been tough to hit against. 1.60 ERA, 0.79 whip. And these Texas Ranger pitchers are now in the top 3 in fewest hits allowed per game. And despite the Rangers' recent struggles, they're still winning 61% of their contests at Globe Life Field. No real surprise here, folks. Both teams saw unders in 7 out of their last 10, respectively. Give me Texas minus 145, under 8. A's, Astros, 810 East. Houston's 215. Total 7.5. Hunter Brown for the Astros. J.P. Sears for the A's. Sears is just 4-4 with an ERA in the 4s. And these A's pitchers have done a bad job for the most part. They're in the bottom 3 in runs allowed per game. They're facing an Astros lineup who definitely hits it well at home. They're nearly in the top 5 in hits per game on their own field. Isaac Paredes leads the clubhouse in homers and ribbies. Jake Myers is hitting 300 on the nose. The Astros now have a .643 win percentage in front of their own fans. I like the Astros minus 1.5 over 7.5 runs. Yankees, Angels, 938 East. New York's the $2 favorite. Totals 9. Carlos Rodon for the Bombers. Tyler Anderson for Los Angeles. And even though Anderson's thrown well, he's recorded only 2 wins through 55 innings. And a lot of that is on these Angel hitters. They actually strike out more times a game than any other lineup. We're also in the bottom 3 in hits per game in front of their own crowd. And they're going to face a 6-3 Carlos Rodon, 80 strikeouts, 2.88 ERA. Rodon also comes into Tuesday's start with a stingy .96 whip. Now, as a staff, these Yankee pitchers allow fewer hits a game than any other team in the Bigs. 3 out of the Bombers' last 4 on the road stayed under the total, 8-2 to the under in their last 10 at any location. I like the Yankees minus 1.5. Under 9. Marlins, Padres, 9:40 Eastern start. San Diego's $1.50. Total 7.5. Stephen Kolek for the Pods. Max Meyer for Miami. Mayer's just 3-4 on the year. Not a lot of run support from this Miami lineup. The Fish are in the bottom 10 in runs per game on the road, and they're going to take on Stephen Kolek, who's recorded only 1 loss this season, ERA of 2.84. The Pods have also been unhittable at Petco Park. They're leading league in strikeouts at home, allowing just 2.6 runs a game in their own stadium. Now, the Pods saw their last 4 home games stay under the total, 8-2 to the under in their last 10 at any location. Miami contests went 60% to the under in their last 10 at any location themselves. I like the Padres minus 150, under 7.5. Pirates, Diamondbacks, 9:40 Eastern start. Arizona's 260, totals 8.5. Corbin Burns for the D-backs. Mike Burrows for Pittsburgh. Now, Burrows is backed by a sloppy lineup of hitters. The Bucs are dead last in runs per game. And they're going to face righty Corbin Burns, 2.73 ERA, 1.18 whip. And as much as they've struggled here recently, the D-backs still have a winning record at Chase Field. Now, both teams saw unders in 7 out of their last 10 respectively. I like the D-backs minus 1.5, under 8.5 runs. Next and final breakdown for the video, Nationals Mariners, 9:40 Eastern start. Seattle's minus $1.65, totals 8. Logan Evans for the M's, Mitchell Parker for Washington. Parker's 4-3 on the year. Got a couple of guys behind him who can certainly hit the baseball. James Wood has 13 homers, 36 ribbies, and C.J. Abrams with an OPS nearly in the 900s. And they're going to take on Logan Evans, who's got a sloppy 1.44 whip. Of course, as a staff, these Seattle pitchers are in the bottom 10 in hits allowed per game. Now, total-wise, the Mariners have seen 63% of their home games get over the total. 3 out of the Nats' last 5 on the road got over the number themselves. Give me Washington plus 1.5, over 8. And with that, folks, now it's time for our quick pick recap. I like the Dodgers minus 135, under 8.5. Cardinals plus $1, over 9. We went 5-1 with a push in my 7 plays on my premium page on Monday. I like the under 7 in that Giants-Tigers game. Phillies plus $1, over 8.5. Twins plus $1, under 8.5. Mets minus 1.5, under 7.5 runs. Brewers plus $1, over 8.5. Reds plus $1, under 8. Cubs minus 1.5, over 7.5 runs. Rangers minus 145, under 8. Astros minus 1.5, over 7.5 runs. Yankees minus 1.5, under 9. Padres minus $1.50, under 7.5. Diamondbacks minus 1.5, under 8.5. Nationals plus 1.5, over 8 runs. And with that, folks, that's going to do it for me. Don't forget to check me out on my premium page. And if you do end up getting a membership here today on my premium site, just a friendly reminder, you're going to get access to that membership every single day for the next 30 days. And as an added bonus, you're also going to get access to all of my cheaper memberships during that time frame, absolutely free. Going to be included with your membership. But most importantly, folks, gotta thank you for joining me right here on the free video. Really hope you enjoyed all this great free content, all this great free information. And with that said, folks, happy Tuesday to you. Best of luck to you. And I look forward to seeing you later on today on my premium page.